When I'm not having to defend the timeline of my many body tattoos ever since the Super Bowl halftime show, I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. Hey Sean, seen you in the latest issue of Guitar World. Congrats, bro. So yeah, if you missed it, I'm in the latest issue of Guitar World magazine. Now, of course, I was disrespected heavily, and no, I'm not talking about my least favorite band of all time, Kiss, being on the cover of the Guitar World that I'm actually in. They actually have articles on a lot of the people who went to GitCon, all the YouTubers and stuff like that. So there's your boy right there, Sean Daniels. Oh, not my name. My name is Sean Daniel. There's no S. So they actually misspelled my name a couple times, which I guess, just chalk it up to the crack editing team at Guitar World magazine. Also, the picture in the sidebar in the shadows of the Guitar Goddess picture. But honestly, I'm actually super happy with how the interview turned out. Here, let's read some excerpts from it, shall we? Who are you, Sean Daniels? I have a lot of music and bro-related content. It's 50% music, 50% just broing down. It's not exactly who I am. That's more what my channel is. But at this point, what's the difference? How about a tone tip? Keep the mids in. When you cut the mids, it's like you're cutting out the best bros of your squad. Why would you take the mids out? You've got your low bros, your mid bros, your high bros. Without them, no tone is complete. Definitely keeping in with the bro-related content theme. Keys to success. Authenticity. Every squad has one bro who's trying to be something he's not. We're not all meant to be successful YouTubers. It might not be for you, but there's something good you can do. Be authentic. So anyways, definitely kind of a cool experience being in there. I am happy that I got the sidebar with my absolute bros, Samurai Guitarist and Adam Neely, right there just making the pillar of the guitar community as strong as it should ever be. When you open the basement to move all your stuff out, did all the girls come pouring out like that swarm of bats that knocked over young Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins? So this is an exact recreation of how it worked when I moved out of my old studio. If you missed the live feed, I am between houses because we sold the last one, and me and my literal bro got a new house that we're moving into. We're just waiting on it to close. We're doing the inspection, stuff like that. It should be a pretty cool setup, and I'll give you the new studio tour hopefully in the next couple of weeks once I'm allowed to get in there. So until then, this is going to be the space. I've got some friends who let me kick it with them, so this is going to be the spot where February is happening. So stay tuned for more from this spot. Question, Sean, I'm working on all right-hand stuff in 2019. How much effort should a non-shredder put into learning alternate and economy picking? Are they essential skills? How much do you use alternate or economy picking? Do you have any suggested resources or exercises? I know you finger pick a lot, and I plan to work on that once I get my pick game strong. Thanks for all the lessons. Ride! All right, so quick. Alternate picking is where every time you go down, the next stroke is up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Even if you're switching strings, right? Like, you're always just going down and up. Now, economy picking is still kind of like the same concept where you're just always changing direction unless you're changing strings. So, for example, if I go down on the A string and then the next string, or the next note is on the D string, I'll just continue going down instead of alternate going down. Now, I would say if your goal isn't to shred and you just kind of want to play melodically, really don't worry so much about economy picking as you should worry about alternate picking. I do think alternate picking is good for anybody, even if you're not like a shredder. Just because aside from the efficiency that just going down and up and being able to kind of do that on any string, even if it's just the same string, no matter how fast you're doing it, I think is super important for your timing. Just because, even like when you're strumming, it's always like kind of like a down up type thing that you just kind of get into a groove of doing. So obviously, practicing with the metronome is super helpful, or even like backing tracks and stuff like that too. But I really think that alternate picking is a great way to build timing into your hand, even if you're not striking every note. Like even if it's not like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and type practice thing, because eventually you'll get that timing into your picking hand and then be able to, kind of either ghost the upstrokes that you're not using or just really kind of like fall into some kind of like, picking nirvana where everything is on time and then your picking hand is just going back and forth or just ghosting back and forth if you're not hitting the notes. Man, is that a wig? You are awesome, but hair loss is nothing to cover up. Live the follicle-free life. All good. I haven't decided if people thinking my hair is a wig is a compliment or not. So, thank you. This lesson is not up to par, and the fact you pinned your so-called good comeback just states how bad your channel is. Childish at best. Don't teach what you're not fluent in. The kids can't tell the difference, but I know you're novice in Dadgad. Oh man, another salty Dadgad comment. Cutting right to the core. Even though I've been fooling all the kids, I've been found out to be a total hack, total novice in Dadgad. Between that and the wig, it's just been kind of a rough day. Do you have any tips for bending without accidentally hitting another string? So like for example, if I'm bending the G string up, sometimes I pluck the D string on the way down. On an electric guitar, every little mistake is amplified so I can really hear it and I know it's bad form. Is there something super obvious in the technique I'm not getting? Thanks. I totally know what you're saying. Like let's bend the G string up, right? With volume. Up, and then maybe when you come down, you maybe you might hit the D string or something with your ring finger. Now, I was totally guilty of that all the time back in the day. I think the one thing you might want to work on is thinking of what your other fingers are doing during a bend. And this isn't true just for bending, this is true for any kind of playing, right? Because your other fingers that aren't on like active duty, like playing a note or pressing anything down the fretboard, are really responsible for kind of muting the surrounding strings around what you might want to hit. So when you're bending up like that, you can see my pointer finger is kind of nuzzled up against some of these strings. When I bring it down, I'm not gonna hit that D string. And really the same thing for all the strings underneath the G string, right? So if I'm bending this up, my pointer finger is still kind of just muting these, just touching, right? So it's a team effort. Bending and even just like switching between strings. It's the same thing. You can tell that like my fingers are always gonna be on the fretboard, where I think a lot of beginners might kind of, take one finger at a time and they like leave the other fingers, stuff like that. So it's really just kind of like knowing that these little micro movements of your hand play a big role, not necessarily even in just the tone of the note that you're fretting or playing, but the notes that you're not hitting, because then you can kind of be a little, I don't want to say you can be sloppier with your picking hand, even though that's not like the goal. The goal is really just to kind of focus on the tone that you want, and then use, your pointer finger, sometimes your thumb, even just kind of like the available parts of your hand to mute the stuff that you're not using. And it takes a little bit of practice to really get down, but I think once you're just thoughtful about it, it just really takes on a life of its own, and your hand eventually will just kind of like fall into line and do the things that you think you might be practicing. So just be thoughtful about it. Keep your surrounding fingers close to the fretboard, and then just think about like, okay, my ring finger is going up, but what else is going down? My middle finger is maybe either helping bend that string up, while my pointer finger kind of like takes care of the higher strings. Again, being thoughtful about it, you're gonna sound great. For listening homework this week, I'm gonna throw you to a song by Carina Round. She's been around for a while, kind of underrated in my opinion, so check it out. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.